Just for fun, when I first got to Vietnam, I flew with a guy named Dugan. I don't know if that's his first name or his last name. Do you remember him?
Yes.
What's his name?
Dugan.
Dugan. Well, I know Dugan, but I don't remember. Anyway, we had a smoke ship that we took the seats out of, and there was a big 55-gallon drum of oil in the back, and you could flip a pump switch, and it would turn on a pump, and oil would go around to the exhaust gas, and smoke would belch out of the back of this thing. Just billow out. And the plan was you'd fly in at about 60 knots right over the trees, and smoke would come down, and the bad guys couldn't see where the good guys were in the landing zone. They couldn't shoot them because they couldn't see. This sounds like a great idea, except if you've ever been a duck hunter, picture a 10,000-pound duck. Think you could get that. So apparently Smokey took a lot of hits, and I didn't know this. I'm an idiot. Well, I'll fly that with you. So we get in. Dugan's got 3 days left in country. We fly the smoke ship, and of course, here comes. It's just a good idea, except they need bulletproof Hueys, I think. Anyway, we took some hits, and we made our little mission, and we went back to get some maintenance, inspect the aircraft, and check where the holes were. It was no big deal. We had a Circle Red X to fly back to Bearcat. So Dugan says, well, I'll fly this leg. This is my last leg in Vietnam. I'm never flying over here again. You'll be dead in 4 days, and I'll be home, you know. And starts climbing, and we start going through 10,000 feet, and I'm thinking, I'm cold. That's the only time I was ever cold. We started going through 12,000. So what's the deal with oxygen? Is it 12,500 feet or something? He says, yeah, just getting away from small arms fire. I got 3 days left. We went to like, I don't know, 14,000 feet or something. We're on radar going past Tan Son Nhut. There's some cumulus clouds, broken layer below us. We could see Tiger Airlines coming in. It's the closest I've ever been to a jet going into Tan Son Nhut. We could see the pilot. I think he had blue on us. He's like this, you know, and the guy's telling us caution, wake, turbulence, you know. 2 miles ahead, there's this jet coming into Tan Son Nhut or something. And I said, you know, if we're this close, you know they're all looking out the window this way. And there's these puffy clouds about 1,000 feet below us. And we both looked at each other and went, they got to be watching us. So we flipped on the smoke. Smoke belches out of the back of the Huey. We go, drop below the clouds and laughed our ass off all the way back to Bearcat, knowing that there's about 100 guys looking out the window going, look, you know, oh shit, honey, snap my watch, you know. It was a good war, not a great war, but a good war. And beer was 10 cents. Hey, nothing's all bad.
Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane to a town or a turn to 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good in the lay-by. We're not ready, we're not dirty, we're not mean. We love everybody, but we do as we please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go swimming in the sea. We're always happy, lives for living, yeah, that's our philosophy. Sing along with us, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, da-dee-da-da-da, yeah, we're happy, da-da-da, dee-da-dee-da-da-da-da, yeah, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da, all right, all right. Time. Think about where your back was, it'll soon be summertime. And we'll sing again. We go driving on, maybe we'll settle down. If she's rich, if she's nice, bring a friend and send one local into town. have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If your daddy's rich, take a ride for a meal. If your daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, do a turn or a turn of 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and live by. When I'm crazy, when I dirty, when I'm mean, we love everybody, but we do as you please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go swimming in the sea. We're always happy, life's for living, yeah, that's our philosophy. Sing along with us, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, la-da-da-da-da, yeah, we're happy. Da-da-da, dee-da-dee-da-da-da.
My name's Ed Anderson. I was in maintenance. I'm an original member of the 135th. We came over from Texas. And we didn't know anything about the Australians becoming part of the unit before we got to Vietnam. So when I came over on the ship, we docked in Vung Tau Harbor, and some of the guys came from shore, and they said, "You won't believe what's happened to the company. We got some guys walking around who speak a real funny version of English." And I said, "Oh yeah?" And then they explained to us how the Australians come in. So we got ashore with the equipment. We just had a great time with it. What really sealed the whole deal with the Australians and made it the best of all was we had a picnic on the Vung Tau beach. And it started off simple enough, drinking, and the barbecue was going. But pretty soon the Australians got into it and they started singing. And they were singing Waltzing Matilda and other Australian songs. And one would sing a verse, and then somebody else would start up with a completely different version of the verse. It was like I took that out of a movie. You'd think it had been directed and choreographed by somebody before it even began. But we partied all day and all night that time. And those Australians kept singing, kept drinking, and they got us singing. So it was just like one would look at one guy, he'd look at him, said, take the verse, and then he'd redo Waltzing Matilda, something completely different. He never even heard of it. He was making up as they're going along. And that was the greatest part of the whole thing. And that's when we decided, we can get along with these guys. This is going to work out real good. But then the beer was good. And that was it.
It's on, is it, mate?
Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name's Alan Bushkane. I joined the RAN at 15 years old in 1962. 1967, I was due to stay ashore, but got this terrific job in Vietnam. Spending a lot of time in Southeast Asia, I thought that is going to be a great place to go to. Naturally, I found out later. I was the only guy, Navy guy, or anybody for that matter, who had the MOS, or my trade was partly taking parachutes. The thing with the Australian Fleet era, wherever they went, they always took a full complement of tradesmen. Well, we already had Hughes, and they should have known that there are no parachutes in Hughes. So when I got there, I didn't really have much to do. So they cross-trained me and I worked in avionics. I enjoyed the company of all the guys there. I didn't really enjoy the place. I've got no wish to go back there. There are a lot of other places that are much nicer. Most memorable experience, well, waiting to get out of the place, of course, and I think that was pretty common. The only time I ever bothered to get into a bunker was the last night we were there. And the only reason I did that was because I thought, well, tomorrow morning there's something happening, I'm getting out of this place, and I want to get out in one piece. The only thing was that it wasn't incoming, it was a short round. So it was a short round that got me into a bunker for the first time. I didn't even have a drink that night. War story, well, probably a little bit crude, but it's interesting. We have what we call commonly in Australia thunderboxes. And at Black Horse, what we used to do, no plumbing of course, they used to cut 44-gallon drums in half, and that's what we used to use for a toilet. And the hooch maids used to come along and they'd pull them out and they'd throw petrol in there and they'd set fire to them and burn the you-know-what.
Yeah.
One day I was standing at the desert with the urinal that was stuck in the ground, which was another 44-gallon drum, talking to one of the Negro guys, Pearly, and he was complaining. I said, "What's wrong with you, man?" He said, "Man, I was sitting on that toilet the other day, And what happened was, this hooch maid was waiting to pull out the 44-gallon drum. She looked in there and said, nope, there's one of those big old things hanging down there. I better wait until he's finished. So she got on with some more, and then she looked again, and there's one of those big old things hanging there. He's not finished yet. He said, eventually, she said, oh, damn this, and she grabbed hold of it to pull it out of my backside. She said, but it wasn't one of those big old things, that was me. It's a true story. And that's about it, folks.
Mike Guard, 135th Assault Helicopter Company, High Plan Platoon. I was a E4, Specialist E4. Came in country in March of 1969, exited in March of 1970. I was a crew chief and door gunner. And I think one of the most memorable things about Vietnam that always sticks out in my mind was the rats, which were so plentiful. We had rats everywhere, huge rats. Some of them were kind of cute, actually. Would have made nice pets, I'm sure, but I never thought about sleeping with them. And one night, I was having one of those erotic wet dreams, and I was making love to a really nice round-eyed woman, and we fell onto a pile of bearskin rugs, nice furry bearskin rugs, and we were rolling around. Of course, this is a dream, mind you. And she started to disappear in my dream, and I was feeling the fur, and I was rubbing the fur. My feet was rubbing the fur, and it just felt so nice, and I was in ecstasy. It was just great, and I kept rubbing the fur, and she started to disappear, but the fur was still there. I thought, well, that's kind of strange that she's gone, but I can still feel the fur. And I slowly became conscious again out of my sleep, and as I became conscious, I thought, there really is fur on my feet. And I threw the blanket back, and I looked down at my feet, and there was this huge rat under the blanket with me, laying at my feet, and I had been caressing him with my toes. Well, when I threw the blanket back, he screeched and hopped up in the air and then ran up the side of my leg and over my shoulder, across my head here, and jumped down to the floor. Well, I mean, it took a second before I just started flailing in every direction trying to get that thing off of me, because I didn't know how many of them there were. But the next night, we were all laying there, and the rats used to run up and down the barracks at the head of the beds, because all the head of the beds were up against the wall, and the feet came out towards the center of the aisle. And the rats used to run up and down the wall there. And I don't remember the crew chief's name, but he had his boots next to his bed, and he saw that rat coming down there, and he flailed that boot, nailed the rat, loud squeak, and killed him dead in a doornail right there. Went over there and grabbed the rat by the tail. Sure enough, it was my little sweetheart that I had been sleeping with.
Oh, that's sad.
In this dirty old part of the city where the sun refused to shine, people tell me there ain't no use in trying. Now my girl, you're so young and pretty, and one thing I know is true, you'll be dead before your time is due. I know. Watch my daddy in bed and crying. Watch his hair been turning gray. He's been working and slaving his life away. Oh yes, I know. He's been working so hard. Oh, Mom been working too, baby. You're so young and pretty, and one thing I know is true, yeah, you'll be dead before your time is due. Know it. Watch my daddy in bed at time. Watch his hair been a turning gray. Yeah. He's been working and slaving his life away. I know he's been working so hard. I've been working too, baby, every day, baby. We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you. Somewhere, baby. Somehow I know it, baby. We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you. Believe me, baby. I know it, baby. You know it too.